goddamn right.
Being the strongest is a title for, well, the most powerful being. And for the Demon Slayer Corps, almost anyone who is in the presence cannot deny the overwhelming power that he displays. If you read the caption of this video or have the brain rot to only look at the big red letters on the thumbnail, I am talking about Gyomei Himejima, the Stone Hashira.
Himejima.
Today we are going to be examining what makes him the strongest in the Demon Slayer Corps. As a teenager before joining the Demon Slayers and without a weapon, Gyomei was able to smash a demon's head numerous times for hours. After a misunderstanding, Gyomei is arrested but is soon recruited by Kaguya. Indebted to him, Gyomei becomes a Demon Slayer, and within the span of 2 months he was able to become a Hashira. This is insane, as it usually takes Demon Slayers 5 years to get to that level, 2 if they are a quick learner. The only other person to replicate such a feat is Moichiro. This should already give you an idea on how talented this man truly is. Gyomei demonstrates some of his raw physical strength by being able to push boulders larger than the ones that Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke had to go through massive amounts of work to be able to move much smaller ones. Gyomei does this by using a technique called repetitive motion. By using memories of pain or anger, he is able to raise his heart rate and body temperature, which allows him to get even stronger. After the Hashira training arc, this is probably what allows Gyomei to activate his mark on command, rather than most characters having to be near death to first utilize theirs. First, let's get into some base feats. In the Infinity Castle arc, Gyomei, with the help of Tamayo's sneak attack, is able to decapitate Muzan and defend against his attacks. Keep in mind that this Muzan is heavily weakened by Tamayo's initial poison. When he enters the fortress, he one-shots a bunch of demons with the strength on par to a lower moon. Not too long after, he saves Sanemi from the strongest demon under Muzan's command, Kokushibo, the highest ranking upper moon. Gyomei, by just existing, receives praise from Kokushibo, detailing that he hasn't seen such a great swordsman in nearly 300 years. But this isn't some overestimation by Kokushibo, as Gyomei shows amazing agility despite the heavier weapon and the heavy build. Gyomei's weapon is also no joke, as Kokushibo states that he is unable to break the Stone Hashira's weapon, as it absorbs so much sunlight that hadn't even been discovered in the peak of swordsmithing. His weapon is so durable that just the chain part is able to temporarily break the demon's sword. However, Kokushibo starts to show that Gyomei will not be able to win without using his mark. When he finally unleashes the mark, he is able to perform much better, as even when he angers Kokushibo, he is able to react and exchange attacks with him. Sanemi joins back into the battle with his mark and helps Gyomei. Kokushibo is amazed that these two are able to fight together so well at this level of speed. He notes that these two are probably the most skilled among the Hashira, particularly Gyomei. When he advances on Kokushibo directly, he is able to cut his ear off, and the two Hashira continue to press the upper moon until he loses his kimono, and counters them by extending his sword. Had Gyomei not deflected the trajectory of the attack, Sanemi would have lost his arms, as the Wind Hashira was not really able to react to Kokushibo's attacks from this point on. Even though Gyomei can still react to Kokushibo's attacks, the major increase in speed and range denies Gyomei from getting to attack up close and decapitating the demon, while he is also supporting Sanemi. It wasn't until Tokito jumps back in with a near-death amp in the transparent world that Sanemi, Gyomei, and him were able to all charge in and land attacks on the demon. During this, Gyomei figures out Kokushibo's seeing ability and also learns how to use the transparent world, and shifts his blood to throw off his vision, which is what allows Tokito to get close and eventually turns his blade red against the demon. Now, it took the help of Genya plus Gyomei's weapon turning his blade red to decapitate the demon. This shows an extremely high attack potency, as Kokushibo is, well, the strongest demon and should theoretically be the most durable as well. This sword that is able to potentially break weapons such as Sanemi's Nichirin blade, and Gyomei was able to snap this weapon like it was a twig. And after Kokushibo is decapitated by the Demon Slayers, he notes that the speed of Gyomei's growth is comparable to that of a demon, and he constantly breaks his own limits. With the battle against the strongest upper moon over, he still had to fight the strongest demon of them all, Muzan. He shows up midway through the final battle, but when he does eventually arrive, Muzan immediately notes him as being the one who defeated Kokushibo. Gyomei, even while being fatigued from his prior fight, shows the power to smash Muzan's limbs multiple times. Though Muzan is much faster than any of the Hashira, so I don't really believe that any of the Hashira truly scale to his level of speed, but he is able to seemingly defend better than most of the Hashira there. When he gets more help with more Hashira tier fighters showing up, he makes his own weapon red and causes major damage to Muzan. However, when he finally sees the transparent world again, he and the rest of the Hashira are knocked away by an unpredictable attack from Muzan. Gyomei re-enters the battle versus Muzan on one leg, and with the help of some fodder members of the Demon Slayer Corps, he is able to keep Muzan in the sun, so he eventually fades away. Now for some statements that I haven't mentioned yet, multiple times the editor's comments state that Gyomei is the strongest in the Demon Slayer Corps, or is the strongest man. Tokito views Gyomei as the strongest in the guidebooks. Kokushibo, also in the guidebooks, is massively impressed with Gyomei's skill. Tengen and Rigoku view Gyomei's strength as absurdly strong. OpenEye also adds to this by calling Gyomei very strong as well. With all this being said, it should be obvious where I'm going to rank him in terms of the Hashira. He is the clear number one, as he has the best feats versus the upper moons, and even seems to have some level of respect from Muzan himself regarding his power. I think a more interesting conversation is if he or Tanjiro is stronger, but that will have to be a video for another day, as this video is already going to probably be my longest.
Liar!
Thank you everyone for watching.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.